that when he's retired. He wants to spend the rest of his life, helping as many people as he can. He also has an adopted daughter who was born with Down syndrome from Dee Dee before they were married. And so he's got a huge community of families with children with Down syndrome that he blesses with all sorts of great events throughout the year, just fun things that they would not normally be able to be part of, and just funds those things, funds those the events for them to be able to come up and show up and free of charge and do all sorts of great things and meet Albert Pujols. So he's a real deal, both in those two communities, the Dominican Republic and the Down syndrome community. He has meant so much to them, and I think will continue to do so. Now, we'll say there's a third field, and that's just sharing of the gospel. I've seen him at events where he gives his testimony. It's a very clear presentation of the gospel when he does so.
So he's the real thing. I want people to understand that you've researched this. You literally did the book on him, the biography on him. You spent time with he and Dee Dee. You spent time down the DR. You've seen and been with him and, quote, the casual moments and then the on-stage moment. No, he's the real deal. Is there anything about him that indicates that he's, a greedy, selfish individual to you, Scott?
No, I said, I think I can figure out, I believe you asked me, if he didn't sign with the Cardinals, where would he go? And I think it was you, maybe it was somebody else, but I said he'll go to L.A. or he'll go to Miami. And the reason being isn't the money. And those two teams might have had the money, might not, but that wasn't the issue. The issue was the Hispanic market in both of those metro areas. And the reason is because when I see him preach or share his testimony, it's always in English because he's speaking to a mainly an English-only audience, and it's always this kind of stilted language where he's searching for the right words, and you feel like he's a caged lion. He's got something really powerful, really passionate he wants to say, but he's doing it through the second language, the same way we would be if we barely knew the language good enough to just let it fly. And then when he gets in front of a reporter that's it's Hispanic, then he really goes crazy with his talk. He's really easy talking. So I've always thought if he goes to a market that was heavily Hispanic, then that entire gospel witness just gets a flow free from his tongue. So I think in some sense he's put the stand music